Mr. Baski, your family and friends can now send you monies from the whole of Europe, US, Canada, and Switzerland for absolutely free. Supersonics Money Transfer is giving you an unbeatable offer this Tobaski. Your family and friends can now send you monies from the whole of Europe, US, Canada, and Switzerland for absolutely free. Yay! Yes! This Tobaski, enjoy our safe, fast, reliable, and convenient money transfer service with the largest payout network in the Gambia at zero transfer charges. So your family and friends wouldn't have to worry about transfer charges when sending you monies from Europe, USA, Canada, and Switzerland this Tobaski. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics. Support your own. Tobaski just got better with Supersonics Money Transfer.
Welcome to the second edition of the Interministerial Press Conference, coordinated by the Ministry of Information and Communication Infrastructure through the Office of the Government Spokesperson. Before going to my statement, let me apologize to the members of the media for not being able to organize the way we used to do it in our usual format, where we bring in the officials and then the journalists to interface directly. This situation is as a result of the COVID pandemic that we are going through in this country, and after consultation with the Gambia Press Union and the practitioners themselves, the media practitioners, it was recommended that we only provide the statement this week, and then by next week we would have put a platform ready so that we can be having this press conference, virtually, so that journalists will not have to be cramped at one place as part of measures to, help prevent ourselves from being infected. This is the statement that we have gathered from the various ministries. First, with the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. Since the advent of COVID-19, the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education has initiated innovative means of access to quality education in the Gambia. From March to June 2020, the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education engaged a number of radio and TV stations, as well as online platforms, to provide simultaneous classes to students on cross-platforms. This has helped minimize the impact of the COVID pandemic on the education sector, as lessons were delivered on radio, TV, and social media platforms in the comfort of the homes of school-going children. Similarly, prior to the advent of COVID-19, the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education was engaged in activities aimed at increasing access and quality of education through the following strategies: second chance education and providing special incentives, including additional cash transfer and school meals in the most deprived districts where the prevalence of dropout and out-of-school children are higher. On the issue of school infrastructure, the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, in collaboration with partners, has since 2018 built more than 3,000 new classrooms and 170 water points in schools across the Gambia. 700 modern teachers' quarters were also built and fully furnished to ensure that teachers have the basic of facilities, especially those posted in rural areas. Over 2,500 modern toilets were also built in schools throughout the Gambia. Some of the schools are also fitted with solar panels. The Ministry of Environment, Forestry, and Climate Change. As part of efforts to slow down deforestation and forest degradation, the Honorable Minister of Environment, Forestry and Climate Change has just finalized a one-week tour of the country during which he initiated the community forestry management process to enhance the protection and care of forests across the Gambia. During the minister's tour, 17 communities received their first certificates, which serve as the first stage of the community forest management. After 18 months, this community forest will be handed over to the local communities to take ownership of them and to protect them against bushfires, illegal felling of trees, and destruction. The Ministry of Health, the government of the Gambia, continue to prioritize support to the health sector, especially in this pandemic period. Just this week, the Ministry of Health took delivery of critical life-saving medical equipment and 10 new ambulances to deal with COVID-19 pandemic and other health conditions in the Gambia. The materials will be used to support and strengthen the health sector. The medical equipment received included 60 intensive care beds, 600,000 surgical masks, 1,200,000 gloves, 5,000 oxygen masks, 4 ultrasound machines, 20,000 face shields, 25,000 personal protective equipment, PPEs, 30,000 respirators, 205 oxygen flow meters, 3 digital 4D color extrasound machines, 4 ultrasound scanners, and 100 non-touch thermometers. A total of $100 million, approximately $2 million of the government local fund, GLF, along with fund financing from the World Bank, was used to procure the 10 ambulances and other medical equipment. Also, the Gambia government has appointed a new COVID-19 coordinator to closely work with the Ministry of Health, the Cabinet Subcommittee on COVID-19, and other critical stakeholders in a coordinated manner to reinforce the existing strategies to fight the pandemic in the Gambia. Ministry of Agriculture. The Ministry of Agriculture continue to empower Gambian farmers through the provision of equipment and training as part of efforts to increase productivity on the farms. Farming equipment across the value chain, such as power tillers, pumping machines, milling machines, threshing machines, and a host of other equipment were distributed to the farming community across the Gambia. Procurement procedures are at an advanced stage in obtaining 50 units of tractors and accessories to be used in the Ministry of Agriculture's drive to mechanize agriculture along the value chain. As part of the developed response plan for COVID-19 and post-COVID-19, the Ministry of Agriculture is building the resilience of farming communities in addition to the traditional support given to them. This year, the Ministry of Agriculture has supported farming communities with the following: provision of plowing services amounting to 4,000 hectares, benefiting 32,000 farmers throughout the Gambia; 142 tons of assorted rice seeds distributed to farmers throughout the country; and more than 30,000 bags of different fertilizer types were distributed to farmers in the country, especially in the rural areas. Farmers were also supported with sanitizing materials, including face masks, buckets, bottles of bleach, and liquid soap to empower them to continue with their farming activities while staying safe from the COVID-19 pandemic. Ministry of Fisheries and Water Resources. Under the government of the Gambia and UNICEF Country Program of Cooperation, the Department of Water Resources, through the Ministry of Fisheries, Water Resources and National Assembly Matters, is supporting water supply and sanitation infrastructure construction and rehabilitation works for schools, health facilities, and communities in the 5 administrative regions of the Gambia. The key intervention areas for the program are to improve access and rehabilitation of existing water supply systems to ensure that target beneficiaries, particularly vulnerable communities, have adequate supply of potable drinking water supply. Within the framework of the cooperation between the government and UNICEF, toilet facilities are also being constructed in addition to 6 hand pumping taps to improve access to basic sanitation for the vulnerable communities. All these support are geared towards the prevention of COVID-19 pandemic in schools, health facilities in vulnerable communities in the Gambia. The Ministry of Youth and Sports. The National Sports Council, NSC, which is the regulatory body of all sports in the country, has been engaged in a series of activities and meetings with officials of sports associations to reconnect with them within the restrictions on sports events due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In line with the World Health Organization, WHO, and the Ministry of Health of the Gambia guidelines, the Youth and Sports Ministry, through its satellite institutions, the National Sports Council, has reaffirmed and confirmed that restrictions on public gatherings, including sporting activities, are still in place. Due to the coronavirus, some Nawetan centers have called off their 2020 competition. Equally, the Gambia Football Federation, GFF, has cancelled the National Nawetan competition and the Super Nawetan alongside the Football League, which was cancelled 12 weeks into the competition following the COVID-19 pandemic. I thank you.
Yes! This Tabaski, enjoy our safe, fast, reliable and convenient money transfer service with the largest payout network in the Gambia at 0 transfer charges. So your family and friends wouldn't have to worry about transfer charges when sending you monies from Europe, USA, Canada and Switzerland this Tabaski. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics. Support your own. Tabaski just got better with Supersonics Money Transfer.